Okay, so when we did unit conversion, let's just remind ourselves how we do this. By the way, on your test, you will be given these fun facts, okay? So how do we start with convert 20 miles to kilometers? How do we start, Anna?
You put 20 miles in the line.
Yes, I put 20 miles. We just want to throw a 1 down here, just so that we can keep our fractions, right, clear, that this is the top and that's the bottom. All right, what's our plan?
To get the answer correct?
Yes, and how would we do that, Isaiah?
I don't know the process. I know the answer, though.
Why do you know the answer?
Because converting miles to kilometers in my head really isn't that hard.
Okay, so, well, let's see if your answer is right. How did you do it?
In my head,
What did you do in your head?
well, it's not like I can play it back. I just look at it.
You look at it. Okay, let's have a little bit more of a strategy here.
That's not very fun.
Okay, Siri.
Will you 1 kilometer over 1 mile or miles go up?
Ah, all right. Our strategy is that we want to get rid of miles and we want kilometers. So when I say get rid of miles, the only way to get rid of something, right, and by that I mean canceling, is to have 1 on top and 1 on bottom, right? So we know we have to have miles down in the bottom. And we say, all right, we're hoping to get to kilometers. And I say, ooh, do I have any fun facts that relate miles to kilometers? And I do. That's awesome. Okay? So I place my units first, and then I put the right numbers next to the right units. So my mile, the number next to my mile is a 1, and the number next to my kilometer is a 1.61. Does that make sense? Okay? So I'm setting up my units, and then I'm throwing in my numbers. And I say, okay, I want to make sure that I'm at kilometers. I am. Awesome. We are ready to do this. So now I have 20 times 1.61. Okay? So I need a calculator. Let's see if I have a nifty calculator on here. I don't think I do. Okay. Sad. Hold on. Okay, so now to get this, I want to do 20 times 1.61. And that is going to be equal to 32.2 kilometers.
Okay, so mine was a little off.
Okay.
You got 32.112.
Okay. So 20 miles to centimeters. What's our game plan? Max. Okay, so we're going to start with our 20 miles. We're going to go miles to kilometers, then what?
Into meters.
Then to meters,
Then to...
and then to centimeters.
So I...
So when you watched me put the units in, what was my strategy? Isaiah?
To cancel out.
Yeah.
But I have another question.
Yeah.
Is it 63,320 inches or centimeters in a mile?
I don't know. I know basic things, and then I know how to do this so I can put it together, right? So like I always know that there's 2.54 centimeters in an inch. That gets me from metric to stupid, right? Sorry, the imperial system is dumb, right? So but this strategy gets you anywhere you want to go, right? With some basic stuff, okay? So let's just check that everything canceled out, okay? Miles went away, kilometers, meters, and we're left with centimeters. So now all we have to do is put in our numbers, right? Just for fun, I'll choose a different color. All right, what do we know? For kilometers to miles, hold on, let me get rid of that. For kilometers to miles, what do we see? Our kilometers and miles there, okay? And then, oh no, sorry, this thing is messing up. All right, let's see what we can do. 1.61 kilometers to 1 mile. Then what else we got? Yep, Max? 1,000 meters to a kilometer, and yeah, 100 centimeters to a meter. Okay, so this is a bunch of multiplying, right? There's actually nothing on the bottom, is there? So when you actually do this, it is indeed, you're right. 3, 2, 2, and then 4 zeros. And it's centimeters. Yeah? Okay. What's that?
It's a large number.
All right. So now I want you to try these two by yourself, and I'm going to walk around. Okay, so let me just write that. 35,000 seconds. 3,600 to 1 hour, and hours to days. Okay, so 0.4 days. So again, with the calculator, you need to make sure that you're either using the parentheses or some other equivalent way to make sure that's the right answer. All right, and when we did 25 kilometers, what was your game plan?
Kilometers to meters to
Yep, kilometers to meters, meters to feet. Okay, does everybody see how I'm putting those units in there? Right, when I'm saying I want to get rid of something and go to something else, right? I always need, when I get rid of something, it's because it's one's on top, one's on bottom. And then we put in our right numbers, 1,000. What's wrong? All right, what do we get?
82,500.
82,500. Is that, no?
Well, I did it that way. Is that
Oh, okay, no. So you could also go kilometers to miles and miles to feet.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's what I did.
basically, so what did you, did other people get 82,500? Okay, so I'm going to write that because that's what this thing gives me, but let's talk about what happened right there. Why are you,
Oh, because 3.3.
yeah, 3.3 is rounding,
Yeah.
right? So 5,280 is more exact, so well done. And you get 81,988. So, but they're basically the same, right? So that's what happens when we round though. Okay, questions on this? Does everybody feel like they can do these one-step conversions? And you're like, what? That was one step? Look at all those fractions I multiplied. Well, it's because today we're going to do two-step conversions. So what we've done so far, oh, oops. We switched a single unit to another single unit. Meters to feet, right? Seconds to days, okay? But now, what if we want to convert miles per hour to meters per second?
okay, that's hard.
What do you think what do you think the strategy will be?
Convert miles into kilometers and kilometers into meters.
Okay, and then,
And then hours into seconds.
yeah. So we're gonna just have more fractions, but we are going to, you do it separately still, right? You go miles to meters and hours to seconds. And when you are when you're keeping track of what's canceling, it shouldn't be so bad. You wanna try one?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to convert 60 miles per hour to meters per second. So the trick is that we need to, instead of just writing 1, I'm going to throw my hour down here. So that's why this whole time when I made you throw a 1 down there, it's because I knew this was coming. Because we want to make sure that we have a very clear top and bottom of our fraction. And miles per hour, the miles is on top and the hours on bottom. Yeah? Can I get some vigorous nods? Okay. So we're going to go miles to meters. So miles to kilometers and kilometers to meters. And we also want to go hours to seconds. So how are we going to do that? Isaiah, what do you think?
Well, can you just, like, say have that up top where the 60 miles would be, and then just have another row on the bottom, and then eventually you can just fill into the lines?
Well, I want to know how I would go from hours to seconds. Edwina?
You can go from hours to minutes.
Hold on. Edwina, sorry.
Couldn't you just add a number and hours and top and second?
Yes. Hours to seconds. Because let's do some switching things around, or the canceling, sorry. Miles went away, kilometers went away, and we have meters, right? So that's what we wanted on top. And hours, you have to look all the way over here, but that goes away, and then we get seconds. Does that make sense? So it's almost just one more step, just clubbed on the end. Okay? But you need to understand the first stuff to be able to do this stuff. Yes, Isaiah.
So would you add the hours over seconds to the equation when you're trying to convert miles?
Like, just like this. I don't know what you mean by add to the equation, but multiply by another fraction.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's throw the numbers in. We have 1.61 kilometers over 1 mile, 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, and 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So throw that in your calculator. It's always nice when there's only like one non-1 number in the bottom. What do you get?
96,600.
Does that sound right? 60 miles per hour. That's something you do in a car. Does it sound like it should be 96,000 meters per second? The speed of light, for reference, is 300 million meters per second. Yes?
26.83 infinite.
Yes. Except we're not going to say infinite. 26 point, let's just round. What's that? Yeah, go ahead. Ask a question. Okay, take a moment and think about your strategy here. 38 kilometers per hour to feet per second. What's that? When are you ever going to use feet per second? I don't know. You could.
When you feel like it. When somebody tells you to do it.
Okay. So we're going to start by writing it as a nice, clear fraction. Okay? Where that's the 38 kilometers per hour. We're going to write it as 38 over 1, right? Kilometers per hour. All right. What's the strategy, people?
So then you would turn it into miles, and then miles into feet.
Okay. What's so fun back there? I want to have fun.
Converting.
I know, right? The best. Okay, kilometers to miles, and then miles to feet. Does that sound good?
the seconds again.
What's wrong with this? You're confused? We want to go from kilometers to feet and hours to seconds, right? Because you can't convert like a mile to a second. That doesn't even make sense, right? We only convert like distances to other distances and times to other times. Okay? So we're just getting rid of kilometers and getting miles, getting rid of miles and then getting to feet. Okay? So kilometers get away, miles go away, and we have feet, which is what we want, right? And then what do we need to do? We need to go
You add
hours to seconds. My hours are on the bottom. So that means to get rid of them, they need to go to the top. Okay? And then seconds are on the bottom. And so I can cross those out. Hours, seconds. So now I just need to put in the numbers. Okay? So 1.61 kilometers is 1 mile. 5,280 feet is 1 mile. And 3,600 seconds is 1 hour. So here we better use our parentheses, right? When we put this in our calculator, 38 times 5280 divided by, make sure to put your parentheses. All right, what'd you guys get? Yeah, what'd you get? 34.6.
I get 55 cents.
Yeah, I got 55.7.
Okay. So what numbers did you put in?
Oh, I forgot to divide it by 0.6.
Okay.
Oh, extra, yeah.
Yep, you got to make sure you're finding all your guys. And, oops, here are 3 more.